Okay, here is your 7.1, 7.2 warm-up. Go ahead and take about 5 to 8 minutes to work these problems out. This will get you ready for your mini quiz that you will take momentarily. So go ahead and pause, work the problems out, and then when you're ready, start the recording up again. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the answers. Here are the answers that you should have had for domain, range, and the asymptote. You can easily find these from the graph or from the equation. You can graph it if you'd like in your graphing calculator. But remember the asymptote, you will always find it after the exponent stuff. So plus 3 means that the asymptote will get closer and closer to the equation y equals 3, which is the equation of the horizontal line. Now, if you had to graph this, you would need to put a dashed line at positive 3, a horizontal dashed line that goes through 3 on the y-axis. So then we can then find the range using that. So if you graph this, you would see that this would be below your asymptote, and also that negative in front tells you that. So then your range will be all the values that y is less than 3. And then your your domain for these will always be all real numbers. There's no restrictions on the x values that you can use. Okay? If you had to graph, then you could go to your table, graph some points, and then make sure that your curve gets closer and closer to this asymptote and never crosses it. Okay, on number 2, this is what we did on day 2 notes. This is depreciation, so you're going to use decay. So the starting amount, 12,500, times 1 minus this percent as a decimal, so 0.0425, all raised to t, which is your time in years, and in this case it's 5. So that's how you show your work for this, and they'll ask you to show your work on the quiz and the tests. So then if you type this in correctly, then your answer should come out to be this. $10,060.14. Okay? Alright, so on number 3, you're depositing money into an account and it pays you this interest. So then that is going to be a growth, and it's $325 is your principal amount, 1 plus. Now since it says compounded weekly, this is the formula where you have n's in it. So your rate is still going to be a decimal 0.015 over n, which since it says weekly, there are 52 weeks in a year. And then 52 times the t, which is in years. Well, they said after 18 months. So then 18 months as written in years is going to be 1 year and a half, so 1.5. So this is what you should type in. And then your answer for this is $332.39. Make sure for story problems you always put a label on it, and in both these cases the label happened to be dollars.